This call is now being recorded.
Okay, very good morning to all. So let me start the class now. Is the screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me continue with where we have left yesterday. So yesterday we have discussed about the files and various file consistency. Introduced you about the file consistency, and I have just discussed about the various types of functions which are available in C. And we have used the fopen, fclose functions and fputc and fgets functions as to create a file, to write the contents to a file, and again to read the content from a file. So today we will start our class by discussing few more functions under this is about fputc, fgets, fputs and fgets. What fputs function is going to do? Okay, so just for confirmation, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Screen is also visible, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now fputs is actually used to write a string to a file. See, yesterday we have seen
వాయిస్
Hello?
కొంచెం బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది.
వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుందా?
ఓకే సార్ ఇప్పుడు
సార్ వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ అవుతుంది.
ఇప్పుడమ్మా
పర్లేదు సార్ అవుతుంది.
ఇప్పుడు బాగానే వస్తుంది సార్.
వస్తుంది.
Okay. Now fputs. If I take fputs, now this is used to write a string to a file. Okay. So yesterday we have seen fputc, which is used to write a character to a file. Now fputs is used to write a string to a file, and its syntax is int fputs of constant char str, means whatever is there in some array, it is returned to the file which is pointed by the file pointer fp there. So whatever is there in this string str will be returned to this file which is pointed by file pointer fp. And if you want to read a string from a file, you are going to use this fgets function, which is used to read a string from a file. And its syntax is fgets of char str. Okay, so whatever you are going to read, it is read in this str, and int length means how many number of characters are been read here, how many number of characters which are need to be read will be specified here, and from where we have to read, because the file pointer means there will be a file pointer which will be pointing to a file. So that means through that file, these many number of characters, means whatever the length which you are giving, those many number of characters will be read in this str. Okay, so that is about fgets. And feof. Feof is a function which returns a non-zero value if the end of the file has been reached. So if you reach to the end of the file, okay, it is going to return a non-zero value. Otherwise, it is going to return a zero value there. Okay. Next we have ftell function. Ftell function, it is used. It is going to return a long integer value. So which will give you the position of the file, position of the character file pointer from the beginning of the file in the stream. Okay, from the beginning of the file in the stream. For instance, here, for example, as I told you, there is a blinker here which is blinking as it is moving. So 1 byte, 2 byte, 3 byte, 4 byte, 5 byte, 6 byte, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, for suppose it is here. Now, if you are using ftell function, it is going to return 15. Means from the beginning of the file, it is at the 15th byte position there. Like that, it is going to return the number of bytes from the beginning there. Okay, then fseek. Fseek actually repositions the file pointer from the specified number of bytes from the starting, from the current position, or from the end of the string. So as I told you yesterday, rewind is actually used to place the file pointer at the beginning of the file, means wherever it is. For example, if this is the file, okay, this paragraph is the content of the file. For instance, this paragraph is the content of the file. Assume that now your file pointer is somewhere here in between. Now, if we are using a rewind function, so it will place the file pointer to the beginning of the file. Means like here, it always, wherever it is, wherever it may be, it is going to bring the file pointer to the beginning of the file. Whereas in case of fseek, so it will specify to which byte it has to move. Means if you are specifying from starting, if you want to use, go for the 10th position. For example, from starting, I want to go to the 10th position. Then it will place the file pointer at the 10th position, wherever it is. Or from the current position, if you want to move 10 positions forward, then it will go to the 10 positions forward. From the current position, if you want to go backwards 10 positions, then it will go for the 10 positions there. Or from the end of the file, to which position you want to move. Then also from the end of the file, it is going to place the character file pointer by the specified number of bytes. Okay, its syntax is fseek, the file pointer fp, long integer offset. Okay, long integer offset and int origin. Means long integer is will specify the how many number of bytes you want to move. This offset actually specifies the number of bytes which you are supposed to move there. So this origin will specify from where we have to start. Whether we have to start from the beginning, whether we have to start from the current position, or whether we want to start from the end. Means, for example, here, I will just give you an example here. So if something is given like this, fc of some fp, comma, some 10, comma. So from the beginning of the file, I want to move to from the beginning of the file, I want to move to 10th byte here. Then I should give it like this. I should give it like this. So fseek f pointer, sorry, fseek fp 10 comma seek set. Seek set actually specified the from the beginning of the file. Seek current will specify the current position, and seek end will specify the end of the file there. So you can give this numerically like this. Sorry, you can give the character constant there. Otherwise, you can mention 0 also. Means if you are mentioning 0, the meaning of that is you want to move 10 bytes from the beginning of the file. Or if you are specifying 1 or seek current, from the current position you want to move 10 bytes forward. Okay. Or if you are saying seek end, means if you are giving 2 there, seek end specifies 10 bytes from the ending there. So in whatever way you can specify it. Got it? So that is what is the offset is the number of bytes beyond the file location given in the origin. Origin indicates the beginning of position of the 3 values, beginning position, and has 3 values: the seek set, seek current, and seek end. Okay. Next, using these few things, let us write a program now. Let us work on some program. Now, for example, let us see this working of this program. Now, just I want to write a strings to the file. I want to write strings to the file there. Then, how it is going to work? Okay, now here it is. Now, for suppose file pointer fp is equals to f open names.txt w plus mode. W plus mode, as we discussed yesterday, w plus mode is used for creating a file both for reading as well as writing. So if you observe, we have a w plus mode which creates a file, text file, both for reading as well as writing there. So it is going to create. If it is not able to create, it is simply say cannot create the file, and it is going to exit. So let us go for a fair condition that we have created a file. So once the file has been created, now do enter. See, there is a character array str. Okay, so enter a string, press enter to exit. Now if you exit there.
Sir, voice break out, sir.
Voice No?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, enter a string, press enter to exit. Press enter to exit. So you have to press enter. Now get str. Get str. Okay. Now assume I would like to show you like this. So here below this line, and assume that that is the file content. Now I am giving here the content here, getters of str. So I'm giving some first name, some Kakinada, and then I'm going to press enter. You know that after giving a string we generally press enter. So when I press enter, what happens is Kakinada is stored in str. Now see here, you know very well that now str is stored, sorry, str contains Kakinada. What will be the ninth character here? The ninth character will be null, which indicates the end of the string. You know that very well. Okay, once we using getters, if you scan a string, if you read a string, so first 8 positions are meant for these strings, and the last 9th position is meant for the null character. Now, then what I am doing here is I'm concatenating /n at the end. /n in the end, in the sense like this, of course, not visible character. The 9th character will be /n, which means after writing Kakinada, if /n is there, the control will come to the next line. Okay, then fputs of str, comma fp. Now whatever is there in str, I am going to write in fp, means in the file. Now as I told you, this is names.txt, assume it like that. So the file pointer is here right now, which is blinking. So when I say fputs of str, comma fp, what is there in str? Kakinada. So Kakinada is written, and the control will come to the next line because at the end a /n is there. So if any error occurs, if error of fp, if there is an error occurs, it will simply print error in writing. Of course, this is just to show you the usage. Now while *str not equal to /n. So why I have given *str not equal to /n, I will explain you very soon. Now it will go back to do loop, because while *str, no, let me tell you what actually this *str is now. Now you might have remembered that str, the name of the array str contains the address of the first element. We learned already that relationship between the pointers and single dimensional array is the name of the array contains the address of the first location. Now address of the first location means the address of k, means the first location k will be there in str, right? So because str contains address, *str will give you the value. *str will give you the value. So what is there at the first position? K. K not equal to /n is true. K not equal to /n is true. Again it will go back. Again it is asking enter a string, press enter to exit. So get str. Get str in the sense, again I'm giving the second string here. For example, Vizag. I have given Vizag and I have pressed enter. Once I press enter, so str will contain Vizag. Then strcat of /n. So /n is concatenated. Okay, to the str. Now again I'm saying fputs of str, comma fp. What is there in str now? Vizag /n. So Vizag is written to the file and /n. It comes to the next line. Again it will check for the error. Again *str. What is *str this time? Because the first character's address means at the first position we have v not equal to /n. It will go back again to enter a string. Third time, assume that I am writing Hyderabad. Okay, in str, and I am pressing enter. Then str contains now Hyderabad. Then again strcat of str, comma /n. Now again /n is concatenated. Then fputs of str, comma fp. Now this time Hyderabad is written. Okay, this time Hyderabad is returned to the string and the control will come to the next line. Okay, again star str of slash n. So what is there in the first character? H not equal to slash n is true. Again it will go back. Now fourth time, see what I am doing here is enter a string plus enter to exit. So enter to exit in the sense just I have pressed enter. So when I press enter, what happens? The first character itself contains slash 0 because I have not given anything. The first character means null character is stored in the first position. Okay, str. Then strcat of str comma slash n. So to the first character now at the first position, slash n is concatenated, and of course the next position will contain slash 0. Right. Now fputs of str. Now only enter is written to the screen. Enter is written to the text file there. Now while str star str. Now what is there in the first position? Slash n. So slash n not equal to slash n. False. Then it is going to quit. It is going to quit. Okay. So that's how we are going to enter the contents to the file. Okay. So any doubt in this? Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now, coming back to in W plus mode, your file pointer will be pointing here. See, the blinking cursor will be, assume that it is a pointer. It is. So I am saying rewind of FP. So when I say rewind of FP, the file pointer will come to the starting of the file. The file pointer will come to the starting of the file. Beginning of the file. So here it is. Okay, then the position of the file pointer slash ld ftell of fp. So right now in which position it is? It is at 0th position. So 0 is actually displayed on the screen. 0 is displayed on the screen. Next, what I am doing, fgets of str comma 80. So in general, the line, each line contains 80 characters. Each line contains 80 characters. So maximum 80 characters I am going to read though. So though it is 80 characters, so it is going to read Kakinada into str. From the file, it is going to read Kakinada into str. Okay, which is pointed with the file pointer fp. And now printf str. So printf str. So Kakinada is printed. Kakinada is printed. Again, go back. While not evof of fp. See, this is very understand this condition very well. Means carefully. Now, first time, if I go back, again, I'll come from the beginning now. Now your file pointer is here. Okay, your file pointer is here. So not evof of fp. So what is? Just take this one. Not end of file of fp. Not end of sorry evof of fp. So your file pointer is here. Your file pointer is here. So so end of file will be somewhere here. In the last it will be here. So your current file pointer is here. So feof of fp will return false because it is not at the end of the file. It is going to return false. So what is negation of false? Not false is true. So you know that the loops actually will execute if the condition is true. So feof fp, when you say like that, because not false is actually true, then it enters inside the loop. Then file pointer position 0 is printed. Then because it is going to read the first line here, so in the first line Kakinada is there. Kakinada is read and it is displayed on the screen. Again it will go back. Now the cursor is here at the visor. Not evof of fp. Again not evof of fp is feof fp is false. Negation of false is true. Then again the position, because it is at the 8 characters, somewhere 9 or 10 value will be displayed. Sorry, 9 or 10 value will be displayed. Then again f gets of str 80 comma file pointer fp. So the second line is read. Okay, and it will be displayed on the screen. So printf star percentage s str, second line is printed. Then it comes to the your file pointer will be at h. Again feof of fp. So it is not at the end of the file. So it will be false. Negation of false will be true. Then again position of the file pointer, it will display some number there. So after displaying some number, so assume that it is somewhat 9 plus 6 is 15. Sorry, not here. 15. And then again the Hyderabad is displayed. Hyderabad is displayed. So next time when it will go back, now for example, it has come to the end of the file. Assume that it has come to the end of the file. So not if eof of fp. So this time, because it has reached to the end of the file, f eof of fp will be true, and negation of true is false. Because the loop is false, now it is going to quit, and now you are going to close the file stream there. So this is how you are going to read the contents, read the strings to a file, and write the content. Write the strings to a file, and then again read the strings from a file. Okay. So any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Fine. Now let us discuss the next topic here about the standard streams. So you know that we are just opening the streams here, the stream, because when you say fp is equals to f open, so a stream is been opened here. Through that stream, actually we are going to read the contents and also write the contents to the file there. So likewise, so whenever your C program starts its execution under DOS in the sense that disk operating system, because we generally have a console-based applications here. So 5 specified streams are opened automatically by the operating system. So this is by default. The default streams are opened by the operating system. So these are the standard input stream, the stdin, the standard output stream, the stdout, the standard error stream, the stderr, the standard printer stream, stdprn, and standard auxiliary stream, the stdaux. So these are the 5 streams which are automatically opened when the C programming, if your C program starts there. Standard input stream, standard output stream, standard error streams are assigned to the system's console. They are assigned to the system console. So that's the reason why whatever you are typing from the console, from the keyboard, it is displayed on the screen, and whatever the output which you want to see, it is generally directed, the output is directed to the screen here. Then you have the standard error stream there. So it is also a stream of bytes. So whenever some error occurs, you know the list of errors will be displayed when you are compiling. So those are actually in the stored in the stream, and then they are directed at the console. And we have a standard printer stream which is assigned to a printer port. So if your printer is connected to your system, so the standard printer, it is assigned to the standard printer port there. So if you want, you can direct your output to the printer also. Then you have a standard auxiliary stream which is assigned to a serial port there. So they will have a serial port. Serial port in the sense all the bytes will be transferring one after the all the bits will be transferring one after the another. So we have a serial port there. So it is assigned. Of course, we are not using the printer stream and auxiliary stream, and error stream. It actually by default it is assigned to the console, and we have the input and output streams there. Now I would like to means any output which we are getting, so it is actually sent, first of all is sent to the standard output stream, then it is directed to the output screen. Now mainly here I would like to talk about the standard input stream. Standard input stream. So let me just go back to the diagram which I have discussed earlier about this Okay, so this diagram already we had discussed earlier, but just to discuss now.
Voice.
Hello, am I audible?
Audible, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any data source means any thing which is given from any data source which is coming to the program, it will be traveling to the stream here. It will be traveling. So means first of all it is inserted into the stream and then it will be transmitted to the program. So the standard input stream will be associated with these input devices. Now here comes actually the problem here. I told you that after using mm, reading number, then you have to use a flash stdin. So a flush is the function which is used to flush the stream. So after reading a number, before you read a string, you need to flush the stream, as I told you. Why? The reason here is, you know, the scanf is the formatted input statement which doesn't recognize the white space characters. We have 3 white space characters, that is enter, tab, and space. Enter, tab, and space. Now, for example, so I am giving some statement like this: scanf percentage b comma ampersand of some I, for suppose. Now, what happens when you execute it? You'll be giving 10, and then you're going to press enter. After giving 10, you're going to press enter here. Okay. Now, suppose in the stream, what happens here is, 10 will be actually directed and it will be stored in I. 10 will be directed and it will be stored in I, and the enter which you have pressed, so after that you have pressed enter here. The enter which you have pressed, the enter key which you have pressed will be there in the stream itself. It is not flushed out from the stream. Understood? So 10 will be stored in I. The value of 10 will be stored in the memory location which is pointed by I, and the enter remains in the stream. Next, what happens? Next statement after this is you are asking getters of some str, for example. Now, what getters function will look for? Anything which is pressed before enter, any string which is given before enter will be stored in str. Okay, so because already in the stream enter is there, what getters is going to do? It is going to take a null string, it is going to take an empty string, and it is going to go for the next statement after this. So to avoid this problem, what you are going to do, before going to read the string, you are going to flush the stream. So once you flush the stream already, because now again coming to the beginning, scanf percentage ampersand of I. So 10 is scanned and enter remains in the stream. Then when you say a flush stdin, now this enter is also flushed from the stream. Now when you are giving getters str, now if you Kakinada and then you press enter key. So just I'm typing here because I can't draw the symbol in the notepad. So enter key. So Kakinada will be stored in str. So previously, because enter is there, it takes the null string because the flush stdin is not there, and then it is going to store a null string in the str. So to avoid that problem, you have to give a flush stdin, okay, before you scan a string. So are you able to understand this particular problem? Are you there? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So that is about the streams here. Then we have the fread and fwrite functions. These functions are used to write a complete block of data at once to a file and to read the complete block of data from a file respectively there. So to read and write a complete block of data, you're going to use this fread and fwrite. So fread, actually the function, the syntax is like this: the fread void buffer. Now you're going to read something into this buffer, the temporary area. From where, okay, so how many bytes of memory you are going to read? So size t is actually meant for specifying the number of bytes there, a huge amount of data. So where you are going to read? You are going to read into this buffer. So how many number of bytes? You are going to read these many number of bytes. And how many blocks you are going to read? The count here. So generally the value will be one block of data of size these many number of bytes will be read from the file which is pointed by the file pointer fp. అంటే fp ఏ ఫైల్ కి అయితే పాయింట్ అయిందో అందులో నుంచి ఒక బ్లాక్ ఆఫ్ డేటా, ఆ బ్లాక్ ఆఫ్ డేటా యొక్క సైజ్ ఎంత అండి? ఇన్ని బైట్స్ అమ్మ. అది ఎందులోకి రీడ్ చేయాలి? ఈ బఫర్ లోకి రీడ్ చేయాలన్నమాట. అది దాని యొక్క అర్థం. fwrite, what it is going to do, it is going to write the contents of the file. So these many bytes of the content of the data which is of size these many number of bytes and these many blocks will be written to a file which is pointed by the file pointer fp. So I repeat once again, ఈ బఫర్ లో ఉన్న కంటెంట్, ఈ బఫర్ లో ఉన్న కంటెంట్ దాని యొక్క సైజ్ ఎంత అండి? ఇంత సైజ్ మీన్స్ దీస్ మెనీ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ బైట్స్. సో ఎన్ని బ్లాక్స్? ఒక బ్లాక్ ఎందులోకి రైట్ చేయాలి? ఫైల్ పాయింటర్ ఎఫ్పి ఏ ఫైల్ కి అయితే పాయింట్ అయి ఉన్నదో ఆ ఫైల్లోకి రైట్ చేయాలి అంటున్నాను. సో దట్స్ హౌ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు రీడ్ అండ్ రైట్ ద కంటెంట్స్ దేర్. Now assume that here first I will go with this program, you will have a better understanding, then I will go to the sidewards program there. Now I have a structure, which contains actually a roll number and character name. So just name and roll number it is going to write. Now see here, ఒక బ్లాక్ ఆఫ్ డేటా. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఒక స్ట్రక్చర్ వేరియబుల్ క్రియేట్ చేశాను అనుకోండి. సో హౌ మెనీ బైట్స్ ఆఫ్ మెమరీ విల్ బి అలొకేటెడ్? 20 plus 2, 22 bytes of memory will be allocated. Now what we are doing here is these 22 bytes of memory will be written to a file at once. That is what our aim is now here. So now first dynamically I am going to allocate the memory. See, this program will be more useful in the data structures, because in data structures if you want to store the contents to a file, this program will be more helpful to you. So for example, now this statement will create 22 bytes of memory, allocates 22 bytes of memory, and it will be the address of that memory will be stored in S. So after that what we are going to do here is we're going to read a number, then because after number you are going to scan a string, I'm using f/stdin, then I'm going to read the string here. After reading the string, then I'm opening the file fopen xyz.txt in w+ mode. So in writing mode I'm opening, and now I'm going to write the contents here. So fwrite. So yes, because yes contains the memory here, it is pointed memory, the address I have to give, the address of the memory. So yes, what is there in yes, whatever is pointed by yes in the memory. So how much is the size? The size of the structure student. So 22 bytes of memory and one block. And where I have to write? The file which is pointed by the file pointer fp. So fopen xyz.txt. okay, yes లో ఏదైతే ఎస్ పాయింట్ చేస్తున్న మెమరీ ఏదైతే ఉంటుందో, అంటే ఒక రోల్ నెంబర్ నేమ్ మనం తీసుకున్నాం కాబట్టి రోల్ నెంబర్ నేమ్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ టేకెన్, సో దట్ ఈస్ యాక్చువల్లీ రిటర్న్ టు ఎ ఫైల్. Got it? So one block of memory has been written. So after writing it, so rewind means again it is going to bring the control to the first position. Then again what I am doing here is what I'm doing here is a struct student malloc. Again, another block of memory has been allocated. Another block of memory has been allocated. Just right. Okay, allocated. Now I'm going to read. ఇప్పుడు allocate చేసిన మెమరీలోకి నేను మళ్ళీ రీడ్ చేయాలి అనుకుంటున్నాను. సో fread, I'm going to read the content into the memory which is pointed by the file pointer p there. Then size of struct student 22 bytes. I want to read one block which is pointed by the file pointer fp. Then after reading them again, I'm going to display them, so the roll number and the name. Then I'm going to close the file and freeing the memory here. So again I repeat, see, once again I will repeat this particular program. So there is a structure which can store a roll number and a name, and it has two structure pointers, *s and *p. And here I'm going to allocate the memory now dynamically. So 22 bytes of memory is allocated. In that 22 bytes, which is pointed by s, a roll number and a name has been stored. And now I'm going to open a file xyz.txt in w+ mode. Okay, so which is creating a file xyz.txt, which is meant for both reading as well as writing. Then fwrite, yes. So because already the contents are read into the memory which is pointed by s, so that particular contents of size 22 bytes and which is only one block will be written to the file which is pointed by the file pointer fp. So after that, I'm just rewinding it because it has written 22 bytes. The file pointer will be at the end of the file. So I'm bringing it back to the first position. Again, I'm allocating the memory here, okay, which is pointed by the p, the structure pointer p here. 22 bytes of memory is allocated, and this now 22 bytes. So I'm going to read the contents from a file. So I have to read the contents to the memory which is pointed by p. So how much, what is the size of the content there? 22 bytes of one block which is pointed by the file pointer fp. So once it is read, then we are going to display it. Okay, and then we are going to quit. Okay, so same type of program is also written here. So this is something different. So int x is equals to x has 10 and float p has 3.14. So I'm going to open a file in num.txt in w+ mode. fwrite ampersand of x. As I told you, I have to mention the address here. From where I have to write the contents here. I have to write the x ampersand of x. So at ampersand of x, the address of x, what is there? 10 is there. So I have to write 2 bytes. From there, I have to write 2 bytes. I'm not writing address there, but I'm mentioning the address from where you have to take the content. So I repeat once again, don't get confused here that we are not writing address to the file. We are telling from which address, from where, which memory location we have to take the contents there. So from the address of x, I have to take how many bytes? 2 bytes of memory I have to take. And what is there in the 2 bytes of memory will be written, because 10 is there, it is written to the file there. Likewise, so I'm saying ampersand of p at the address of p, so which contains 3.14 in that memory location. I have to write 4 bytes of memory and which is pointed with the file pointer fp. So 10 and 3.14 will be written to the file. So once it is written, again I'm going to rewind that and reading. Now this time I'm reading it in y there. So read the contents from the file. How many bytes of memory will be read here? 2 bytes of memory will be read, which is pointed with the file pointer fp. Okay, at ampersand at the address of y. Likewise, 4 bytes of memory, which is pointed with the file pointer fp, will be read, and those 4 bytes will be read at ampersand of q there. Once they are read, again they are being displayed. Okay, so understood these two programs? Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, fine. We have the last two set of functions which we'll discuss and we'll conclude the class. We have these functions are used to direct the IO operations pointed by the file pointer f. Okay, fprinted and fscanf. These are actually the two files which are two functions which are used to write the formatted output to the file which is pointed by the file pointer fp. So the syntax will be fprintf file pointer fp. The format is so what type of data you want to write and what is the variable list. So for the printf syntax, only this one is added. Fprintf, the file pointer will be added. Like scanf also. So what type of data you would like to read? What type of data would like to read here? Will be taken from here, from these variables, and it is read from the file pointer fp. ఓకే ప్రింట్ఎఫ్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, ప్రింట్ఎఫ్ ఏం చేస్తుందండి, స్క్రీన్ మీదకి మనం ఇచ్చిన కంటెంట్, మనం ఇక్కడ ఫార్మాట్ స్పెసిఫైర్లో ఏదైతే పెడతామో ఆ ఫార్మాట్ స్పెసిఫైర్కి తగ్గట్టుగా స్క్రీన్ మీద కంటెంట్ని రైట్ చేస్తుందండి. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు రైట్ చేయడం ఎక్కడికి రైట్ చేస్తుంది, ఫైల్లోకి రైట్ చేస్తుంది అన్నమాట. అలాగే ఒక ఫైల్ నుంచి రీడ్ చేయాలన్నప్పుడు మనం ఫార్మాట్ స్పెసిఫైర్స్ ఇస్తున్నాం. ఎక్కడి నుంచి రీడ్ చేయాలి, ఈ వేరియబుల్స్లోకి రీడ్ చేయాలి. అవి ఎక్కడి నుంచి రీడ్ చేయాలి, ఒక ఫైల్ నుంచి రీడ్ చేయాలి, అంతే తేడా. ఇప్పుడు so now let me explain you with an example for this. Now I have a file pointer fp and I have a character name and the number. Now here see, I'm using standard input. So this is nothing but stdout, enter a number, name and the number there. This is nothing but just for usage I have written. This is it will do the same thing. Printf, enter a number, enter name and number. ఇది ఏం పని చేస్తుందో ఇది కూడా అదే పని చేస్తుందండి, కానీ మనం ఇట్లా కూడా వాడుకోవచ్చు అని చూపించడం కోసం ఇది రాశాను. కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వద్దు, ఇలా కూడా వాడచ్చు అని చెప్పడం కోసం. సో ప్రింట్ఎఫ్ ఏం చేస్తుందో fprintf యూస్ చేసినప్పుడు fprintf యూస్ చేసినప్పుడు మనం ఏంటంటే స్టాండర్డ్ అవుట్పుట్ స్ట్రీమ్ ని కూడా స్పెసిఫై స్ట్రీమ్. సో అవుట్పుట్ అంటే మనకు స్క్రీన్ మీద ఏం చేయాలి, వాట్ షుడ్ బి డిస్ప్లేడ్ ఆన్ ద స్క్రీన్, I want to display, enter a name and the number should be displayed on the screen. So once it is done, fscanf, from where you are scanning standard input. What is the standard input? Your keyboard. This is nothing but scanf %s, %d, name comma number. But this time what I am doing, fscanf stdin %s %d. I'm scanning them into the name and the number there. Direct scanf రాయొచ్చు, కానీ ఇలా కూడా రాయొచ్చు అని చెప్పడం కోసం fscanf యూస్ చేస్తాను. So once I have done that, now I am opening a file abc.txt in w mode. In just writing mode, I am creating a file. Then fprintf. Now I am going to write the contents of the file. So what I am going to write, I am going to write one string and one number. Where are those? Those are in name and number. So where I have to write them, not on the screen this time, I have to write them to the file, means to the file pointer which is pointed by the fp there. So file pointer pointed by fp. So those are written in the file. Once the name and the number has written in the file, now I have to close. I am just closing that stream there. Again I am opening the stream in the reading mode. So abc.txt. Now fscanf, I want to scan his name and the number there. So from where I have to scan, I want to scan them from fp. Okay, file. What I want to scan, I want to scan a name and a number. Where I have to scan, I have to scan them into the name and a number. Once I have scanned stdout, I want to print them onto the screen there. That's why I'm using the standard output stream. Then I have a string and a number which is displayed on the screen. Okay, so that is about usage of fprintf and fscanf. So any doubt? Any
No,
doubts?
sir.
No, sir.
Okay, okay, fine, good. So that is about the file concept. This program, I'm leaving you as an assignment for you. So this is nothing. This program is actually copying the contents of one file into another. File లో ఉన్న contents ఇంకో file లోకి copy చేయాలి. ఏం చేస్తున్నాం? First we are creating a file. I'm writing the contents to the file. After creation of the file, I'm opening two streams here. One file is opened in reading mode because they open the source file, and again one file is for copying another file in the writing mode. Then from one file I am reading, and from another to the another file I'm writing. అంటే ఒక ఫైల్లో నుంచి రీడ్ చేసి ఇంకో ఫైల్లోకి నేను ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, ఆ కంటెంట్స్ని రైట్ చేస్తున్నాను, అంటే కాపీ చేస్తున్నాను. వన్స్ అంతా అయిపోయిన తర్వాత రెండు క్లోజ్ చేసేసానండి. మళ్ళీ కాపీ అయిందో ఏదో చూసుకోవడం కోసం ఒకసారి టార్గెట్ ఫైల్ ఓపెన్ చేసి మళ్ళీ అంటే ఆల్రెడీ మనం చేసిన ప్రోగ్రామ్ని మొత్తం అంతా కూడా ఒక చోట పెట్టి ఒక ఫైల్లో ఉన్న కంటెంట్స్ ఒక దాంట్లో నుంచి ఇంకో దాంట్లోకి ఎలా కాపీ చేస్తామో చూసాం. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ అబౌట్ ద ఫైల్ కాన్సెప్ట్. సో tomorrow I'll message you the new tomorrow we will discuss another new concept. Okay, thank you, take care. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
you are
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.